hello. How is everyone doing? That's how I like to start all of our recordings. The Ginger is here.
What's going on?
Welcome.
Thank you.
I am simply posting to the website right now. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. We got the Rundown Live.
Fuck.
Wait a second. Wait a second. Hold on.
Oh.
13, 214, 215, 216, 217, 218, 29. Oh, damn it. We're not going to make it to 420.
What?
We don't have enough run before we move over to the new format and retire the rundown. We're not going to make it to rundown number 420.
Oh.
We're going to be like too shy. That makes me
Oh,
sad.
fuck it. Nope, we gotta wait then.
Yep, we gotta wait.
We will retire it at 420.
That's right. Oh no.
Oh, that's kind of disappointing.
Yeah, a little bit. As soon as I put 412, I was like, wait a second, we only got like 8 episodes, or we only got like 6 episodes left. What's going on?
No! Oh, shit.
Alright,
So, hold on one second, let me...
Ouch. It's fucking Jack Daniels bottles. Pain in the ass to open.
Straight?
No. Jack Daniels hard black cola.
Oh. Fuckers are taking business away from Coca-Cola, huh?
Yep. Yeah, they're like, oh, you know what we can do? We can make our own fucking Jack and Coke with blackjack and hookers.
Oh, well, fuck you guys. Real quick. So, are we in the YouTubes right now, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, did you post it on Rundown?
Doing it right now, sir.
Alright, because I'm gonna fucking post it. So that setting that you were telling me about for the Skype recording.
Okay, give me 1 second.
Okay, yeah.
And then I will show you.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
Do I have...
No.
Jesus Christ, Sal, I didn't even realize you were here.
Fucking assholes.
You didn't say anything, and it was only stuck on Ginger, and then when I shrunk down my fucking screen, there you were.
Oh, yeah. Ginger was talking. I didn't want to interrupt him.
All right.
Ginger, remember last night when I said that, oh, look, Skype's trying to make me update, I'm going to ignore it?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, well, it forced me to update when I turned on the computer 10 minutes ago.
Oh, okay, I thought something bad happened.
No, but I was like, really? I don't want to fucking update right now. And it was like, no, you're going to. And you're going to fucking like it.
All right. Ginger.
Yo.
And our YouTube fans. So here's what I'm talking about. Let me move Sal down here for a little bit.
Okay.
All right. So when you import the audio,
Yes.
so I just recorded a little bit of our call here, right?
Okay.
So you see how it looks like that?
Yes.
Yeah. That.
You just gotta duplicate it?
Yeah, so what you gotta do is you gotta do duplicate, and then this little drop down arrow here.
Mm-hmm.
Swap stereo channels.
Swap stereo channels. Okay.
So now, when you select them both, and you do tracks, mix, and render, it'll zoom them back. So now both
are crammed together.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're now, because these are both channels. So this is like right ear, left ear. So
Okay.
before, how you saw it was only one track, and then when I switched it, it was the opposite like that. So it crams them all together. So now both tracks are in one ear, both tracks are in the other ear.
Okay, do me a real quick favor. Drop down the menu and put the mouse on what I have to click on the first part. Okay. So serious channels. All right, the next.
You guys select all.
Tracks. Okay. Mix and re-render. Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Yep. You already found where the duplicate was, right? To duplicate the tracks?
Yeah, it's under edit. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Shoot.
So for some reason, Adam showed me that before, and I never got it when he showed me.
Oh, no?
Probably because he was going too fast. But what you just said made sense, and now I think I finally get it.
All right. Yeah, like I said, the way that this Skype recorder goes is that, yeah, it records your end of the call on one stereo track, and then the other end of the call on the other end of the track. So
Yeah,
that's-
because
So-
go ahead.
So yeah, so that's why. So if I did this way, now I would be on one track, the two of you would be on the other track. So if I don't do that, where I'm switching around, then people are only either going to hear you two, or they're only going to hear me, depending on. Like I said, that's only if they're using like one earphone or something like that. So like when I'm at work, I only have one earphone in. Okay, because that's how my job requires it. Like you can listen to whatever you want, but you got to have one ear open in case someone needs to talk to you or something like that. So I had to wait until my drive home to listen to the rest of the guys' episode because I was like, well, I can't listen to the fucking episode at work, so I listen to something else. But yeah, so for other people, like if you're listening on headphones on both of them, you would notice that Ginger's whispering in one ear and Sal's whispering in the other ear, but you'd be able to hear the whole thing because you got both earphones on. And then like some people's like cars might have an issue with it if they have like a speaker out or something like that, or if their level is only on one thing. Some people do that shit with their songs too, like to give you ambiance like that. But like I said, it fucks with you if you're
Yeah, Sal and Jason had one. I think it was for one of the takeover. I think it was.
Yeah, I fucked it up.
No, it's whatever. I mean, it didn't bother me because I have both of my headphones on when I'm at work. But at first I was like, am I hearing this right?
My car is weird where it's a new stereo, the speakers are fine, but it does. I can hear left on this morning driving in, Ginger on the left speaker, and then me coming on the right. I'm like, what do you get to?
Yeah, like I said, and some people, like if they might only have one headphone or that, it might actually put both stereo sounds through one of it, so they might not even notice it. But like I said, for some people, they're not going to be able to listen to that episode because they're going to be like, I can only hear fucking Ginger talking. Who's he talking to?
Troy, I got to ask you for a favor. Can I talk about just like a quick 5-minute thing about APW, about the show I went to last Saturday, either at the beginning or at the end of the show?
Yeah, I'll say yes to this.
Well, of course you will.
What happened at APW?
None. I just went. I never been. These guys have been doing it for a few years now. They've been working now.
APW. Well, yeah, at that building, they've been running. I think they're going on 9 years total.
What I mean is our hosts have been working for APW for a number of years now.
Yeah, I think Jason's been there at least, I want to say 6.
I was going to say at least 4 as far as I know, because when he came on, he was promoting APW, and that was about 4 years ago. And then Adam, too. So I just want to give my thoughts real quick on, it's my first time seeing the show, since everybody other than me and you work there, or have worked there. Just want to give a quick,
I still stay in the loop. I'm still in the chats and shit, but it's fun.
Cool. Beginning or end of show? You're directing this shit, so I'm asking.
Hold on. Sorry, my computer just tried to tell me I need to update something for an April 2018 update. Yeah, I'll get right on that.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, man. The fucking shit show that is the Packer game right now is insane. The Packers and Raiders were forced to go and play in Winnipeg, Manitoba. And right now, the field conditions are so shitty that they cannot play in the end zones. So they are playing on an 80-yard field
What the fuck?
What?
And because of the field conditions, they are not doing kickoffs.
Then cancel the fucking game.
That's what I was saying, dude. Like, the fuck
Jesus
is wrong?
Christ.
Like, what the hell is wrong?
You are
with
the
NFL?
fucking NFL. Like, this isn't fucking. Not to throw shade. This isn't the fucking XFL.
Right.
You've been doing this shit for 50-something years. If the conditions of the field aren't right, cancel the fucking game.
Yeah. So the other thing too is it's preseason. There's a good number of those players that the only way they're making a team is by special teams play, and there's no special teams today because there's no
so they just completely miss out on their opportunities and their reps. So
yeah, it's
awesome.
It's complete fucking garbage, and it's the third game, which is normally
it's week 3, yeah.
Which is normally the time that the starters get the most amount of thing. Matt LaFleur, the Packers coach, is like, I'm not putting my starters out in that field.
No, fuck no.
No. So now everyone who was like expecting to see Aaron Rodgers come out there and play in Winnipeg didn't get to fucking see him.
Which is also bullshit.
I mean, it's stupid and shitty enough for the two teams involved and for like the TV and stuff like that. It's even fucking worse for the people of Winnipeg who are like excited. I mean, yeah, it's preseason. They had to know a little bit about it, but it's like they're like, we got preseason week 3. We're going to see Rodgers for at least a half of football. You're going to see the big name guys. Nope, nothing. Not that the Raiders have any big name guys. I don't want.
But I feel like
anyone to think that.
I feel like the NFL went over to London last year, one of the games, and it had a similar situation where the field conditions were shit.
They've been going over to London for a while now. I think they've had.
No, I know, but I feel like one of the games in particular was shit conditions.
I think so, yeah.
And they were complaining about it after the game, but they still played, and it wasn't as extreme as it sounds tonight. Exactly. But still,
yeah. So I can only imagine if they may try to do this during the regular season, what would happen? Because clearly they can't make those concessions during the regular season game, so people will just be fucked.
Speaking of which, aren't they doing a game in Mexico this year?
Yeah.
Oh boy. The 100-year-old stadium at Estadio Azteca would probably the shittiest field in the world.
I mean, I understand what the NFL's trying to do, but like, I guess I don't quite understand Canada. When you have the Canadian Football League, you usually try to go to places that don't have American football, you know, and so it's like it's kind of stupid to go to Canada. Like, I understand Mexico, I understand London. That makes total fucking sense. You know, they do it obviously in in other sports too when they try to play elsewhere that doesn't really have those kinds of sports. NASCAR went to Tokyo one year, decade ago or whatever like that, just because of the fact that at the time they didn't have anything like that there. So and they've gone to like Mexico and Canada and shit like that too. And now it's expanded out. But yeah, like the NFL, like, what are you going to do, man? You tried the EuroLeague. It didn't fucking work.
One of my Madden games from like 04, 05 has those teams you can select in preseason.
I remember
that. Little off subject. I am shocked at the fact that you, sir, have not seen Get Out.
I intend to.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, you figure
that should have been like top of your list when it came out. That movie is.
Dude, I know. So here's the thing. There are certain movies that I want to watch with my wife, and that's one of them. So like.
Oh, okay.
We've had like a shit ton of shit lately, where it's like Stranger Things had come back and things like that.
Yeah.
We had other shows that we're trying to finish. Well, so last weekend we had like finally finished Glitch and got all caught up on that. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm like, we should watch Us because I wanted to see both of them. So we watched Us. Both liked it a lot. It's a really good fucking movie.
Yeah, I gotta see that myself.
Yeah. So this weekend might be when we watch Get Out.
Nice.
Because I know it's another one of those ones where I've been working on it for a little bit. To see it, but there's shit. I gotta fucking remember what it is now. But there was another movie, another Netflix movie that was like Portuguese or something like that. It's like a horror movie, and it's another one of those ones where like people are making the hyperbole of like it's so scary, people are like losing sleep over and stuff like that. And I think that's perfect for slasher because those movies never fucking live up to the hype, So I mean, like Veronica was one of the ones where like, oh, people are dying in theaters watching and stuff, and it wasn't that fucking
okay.
scary.
The hyperbole didn't match it, but I enjoyed Veronica for what it was. It was okay.
It was okay.
It wasn't like setting my world on fire or anything like that.
But like I said, that's what makes it perfect for slasher is like movies that are supposed to be fantastic that are just okay. Like,
yeah.
Hereditary is another one of those ones where everyone's like, "Oh my god, it's so fucking good!" Like,
I didn't see that yet. That's the one I haven't seen.
I enjoyed it, but largely I'm just like, this is like, it's too much, and I always believe movies should not have homework. And that movie, after you watch it, you have to do homework to understand some things.
Yeah, and I hate that.
Yeah, they don't do a good enough job of explaining what's going on in the thing, and like, I don't know if they try too much misdirection or what. But yeah, so that's my problem. It's like I watched it. I don't want to do. Like I did the homework. I figured it out. So I was like, okay, well that makes sense now. But I shouldn't have had to sit there and spend an hour reading up on this fucking movie to understand what I just watched. You know, my wife watched it too, and I had to explain it to her, and she's like, yeah, this is dumb. It's like, she's like, I didn't, you know, like there was some good moments to it, you know, but it didn't live up to the hype in my opinion. So.
My wife instantly gets uninterested if a movie's like too complex, especially if it's like you said, you had to go to Wikipedia after and be like, oh, so that's what he was talking about. She's like, no, I'm checking out.
Well, and like, Us has a tiny little aspect of that where like.
Wait till you see Get Out.
Well, you can do some more extra, but on the surface you're like, okay, like, so the other thing too is you have to understand going into Us, go into it understanding that it's essentially a dark horror comedy. Because
I kind of got that feeling of just watching
from the previews. Yeah.
So some people will go into it and being like, it's another fucking horror movie from Jordan Peele, but it's like, so then when they start making like some jokes in it, where you're like, because I was laughing at certain parts of the movie, I'm like, I don't know if I'm supposed to be laughing, but I'm like, oh no, I'm supposed to be laughing. It's supposed to have like its funny kind of moments of that.
Oh, speaking of Netflix movies that would be perfect for slasher, did you ever hear of the movie Terrorizer? It's something else, but
I think so.
it's one of those like very, very.
Is that the one that's like really fucking racist and shit like that?
Trying to think if it's
or
racist.
Like really homophobic and stuff like that too.
I don't think it's home. No, it's just very like super over the top '80s slasher style, okay. but in the present day. Okay. But it's so over the top that you're like, all right, come on. Like, it's one of those ones where like the girl's leg gets cut off, but she's still able to run away, and you're like, what the fuck?
And one more movie before we kick this thing off. Have you seen The Autopsy of Jane Doe?
Yes.
Oh, no, I haven't seen that. Is that good?
Oh, you jerk! I wanted to talk about it, you dick.
Well, go ahead. No, because I won't. I'm gonna watch it with my wife, so I won't remember by the time I watch it with her. So.
Well, it's kind of the plot of the fucking movie, but I thought when they opened her body, I wasn't expecting that shit.
Yeah.
I was expecting something like almost like it was a spell and like a spirit was gonna come out and it was gonna kill the movie.
Yeah.
Not even fucking close.
Yeah.
But
so that's a movie you have to go into also kind of understanding like you're going to be watching a supernatural movie. You're not because like the previews kind of make you feel like it, but also like maybe. But yeah, so but great acting in it.
Oh yeah,
the movie looks beautiful. The scenes of them cutting her open and doing shit like to the body some of that.
So good.
You got to remember, like the movie, it's an autopsy. So it's two doctors. It's two guys that are doing an autopsy on a body that they find like half buried in the basement of this house. So it was like a big massacre that goes on. So they're not doing anything like egregious or anything to the body. They're actually trying to do. But when they start like unraveling the mystery behind the stuff like that, it's really good.
Nice.
Fucking crazy.
It's not what you're thinking. It's not like Dead Girl, which is a movie about guys fighting a zombie and fucking them. So that's if you
ain't no different than what they did in fucking Kill Bill when she was in the coma.
Yeah.
And they were like paying and he was like selling off like people taking turns.
So yeah, here's the thing though: is like it's in Dead Girl, she's conscious and like reacting to it, and they're just like they're raping her and some of that. But again, like I said, she's a zombie, so like they have to like tie it up and everything. But then the movie just goes fucking bananas after that when they start
way left.
Yeah, but it's entertaining. But my wife was just like, "This is fucking terrible."
See, that's the thing. I like movies that like are so far left, and my wife hates them. Like, I forget which Santa Claus killer movie it was, but
Bill Goldberg.
Maybe. What was the title of that one?
Was it Santa Claus with like a CLAWS?
Oh no,
Santa Slay. Santa
one.
Slay. That's what it was.
No, it wasn't Santa Slay. It was something else.
Krampus?
No, my wife
Krampus
just
was a terrible
completely.
fucking movie.
Yeah, way overbuilt, and it didn't exceed expectations.
That was another movie where, like, if I would have went into it being like it's a comedy, then I would have changed my expectations. But they tried to build it.
I watched this fucking great movie. I can't remember the title of it, but this guy basically gets kidnapped and he's like in Hollywood or something, and he gets kidnapped and brought to a basement, and then like the serial killer's like this clown. But fuck, I don't remember what it was called. It was really fucking good, and I just watched it maybe like 6 months ago. But the serial killer is like a clown, and he's really fucking deranged, and he does all this fucked up shit to the guy he kidnaps. And the guy he kidnaps is like an actor or like a piece of shit like musician, like a struggling musician who's trying to be an act. I don't know.
What does the clown look like?
And
don't say like
a clown.
Don't say like a clown.
No, but the clown is like one of the gimmicks he does. This guy has like split personality disorder, so he comes out dressed like a clown, but then he comes out dressed like other people.
I can like vision the
right, and I can't fucking remember the goddamn title of it.
Well, since we can't remember the title, The Loved Ones. Please tell me you've seen that, Troy.
Yeah.
Oh. Fucking anytime I see somebody post something online, oh, I need a good horror movie, that's like my go-to, like, you need to watch this because it's really fucked up. How about you, Sal? You seen that one?
I have not.
Oof. Highly recommend.
It's good.
I'm gonna assume you're talking about The Basement.
Is that it? Let me look up The Basement real quick on Google.
A wealthy and well-known rock musician, Britt
Yep, that's it.
Owen is enjoying an evening in his LA mansion with his wife, Kelly. He awakens shackled to a child's school desk in a bank basement and is further nonplussed to be entertained by Billy the Clown, a man with a mean temper in full bozo-type regalia. Alright, there you go. The Basement.
Sounds amazing.
Really good movie with a really fucking crazy twist at the end. Like, I highly recommend it. I think it's a Netflix movie.
I'm gonna go ahead and assume that he's the clown. Did I just spoil it? No? Okay. Alright.
Nope.
Let's get this show
right
here. Hold on, let me exit my full screen and actually record this episode. Alright.
Do you want me to do a backup? Sorry.
Sure, if you want.
Okay.
Alright. Ready?
I'm ready.
Is Ginger ready?
Yeah.
And a 3, a 2, a 1. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Rundown Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, Troy. With me this week, Ginger's here.
What's up, everybody? I am fully healed. If you've been watching the YouTube, you'll get that.
Yep. All right. Joining us, the man responsible for Salvivor Series. Sal is here.
I can't take all the credit for that. It was you who put me up to that, Troy. But I'm glad you did. It was a lot of fun.
It was very entertaining. If you haven't listened to that episode, you can either catch it on wherever you listen to podcasts, otherwise on rundownwrestling.com, where it is posted beautifully. Jason is off boning his wife, so it is just a 3-man booth this time.
I thought he was at a nudist colony.
You could do both.
Yeah, that is a valid point.
So
Actually, a little bit easier.
So let's go ahead and get right into it by talking about our hottest female independent talent tournament. We got some results. We are finished with our first round matchups. So let's find out the last 4 lovely ladies joining the other. What do we got? 30 or 20? 28. I can do math. 28 beautiful women that have already made it on. 4 more join them. So let's get into it. Ginger, who is hotter, Taylor Hendricks or Shaza McKenzie?
Taylor.
Sal, same question.
Taylor.
All right. Your winner, and moving on to the second round, Taylor Hendricks. So that took us to our next matchup, Ivelisse Velez versus Brandy Rhodes. Sal.
Fuck. Dude, I didn't know Ivelisse was going to have to deal with Brandy in the first round. That's a fucking damn shame. But it's still Brandy.
All right. Ginger.
Yep, Brandy.
Facing off against Taylor Hendricks in the second round, Brandy Rhodes. So that then took us to Gail Kim versus Chardonnay. Ginger.
Chardonnay.
Sal.
I really wanted to pick Chardonnay, but I can't because Gail actually has a nice ass. So Gail.
Again, I mean, if we take away like our feelings on how much of a bitch she is, and if I take away my feelings on fake titties, I think I would still go Chardonnay. But what did our fans say? Well, our fans decided to go with the pinata herself. Gail Kim moves on.
Wow.
So who will be facing Gail Kim, and who is the last woman to join our second round? Was it going to be Hana Kimura or Maria Manick? Sal.
Maria Manick, I was surprised. Those some good pitches.
Ginger.
Manic.
Your winner, and facing Gail Kim in the second round, Maria Manick. So, you can head over to rundownwrestling.com right now and vote on the matchup. Our first one for the second round, Scarlett Bordeaux and Kiera Hogan. And then, of course, you can come back tomorrow and vote on Penelope Ford versus Candy Cartwright. And the rest of our matchups that we've got for this week, Brooke Adams versus Madison Rayne. Tennille Dashwood versus Ava Story. Angel Sinclair versus Shanna. And Taya Valkyrie and Veda Scott. Yes, I will continue to say her name wrong. It's just more fun that way.
Of course it is.
So, we go from talking about Perfect Tens to... And we are actually going to start off this Perfect 10 by taking a little side journey, because we've got some actual news. Now, we're not going to talk about this news. This doesn't count as a Perfect 10, but we did find out today Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch are engaged. So
good on them.
That was quick.
That was fucking fast.
They'll be married even quicker, and then they'll be divorced next year.
Well, I mean...
It's the Hollywood couple, wrestling couple. It happens to all of them. No shade.
So don't you think that there's a good chance that somebody's going to Seth Rollins by sending dick pics to Becky Lynch? Because we know Seth Rollins likes to send dick pics to married women.
Well, actually, what's going to happen is somebody's going to send Becky pics of Seth Rollins that Seth sent to somebody
right,
while they were engaged. So
that's true.
It's not just from 6 years ago. I'm sure he's still doing that shit.
Well, he is very proud of his 90-degree dick. So,
although, to be fair, if he gets caught sending pictures to another woman. Pretty sure Becky will beat the fuck out of him.
I mean, we don't know that for a fact. But we're going to take another little journey before we hit to the Perfect 10 because Sal proceeded to go to one of the fantastic local events that we pimp on our program here if you live in the New England area. Sal, tell us about your journey.
So last Saturday, I attended APW's show up in Newburyport, Massachusetts. And a few of the hosts here have a long history with APW. Jason's worked there for a while. Ginger used to wrestle there under an anti-American gimmick, but I'll let him talk about that if he wants to. And Adam does his ring announcing there, and I went there. First of all, when I got there, I almost drove by the place about 4 times because it's like this little tiny, it's a
VFW.
Yeah, in the middle of fucking nowhere. Because if you live in Newbury, Massachusetts, you get it. So then I'm waiting in line, and a couple people are behind me, and then who shows up but John Cena Sr. Just here to buy a ticket. Like a normal dude. I was pretty fucking starstruck. And then to make things even worse, or better, I guess, he literally sat directly behind me after I got into the building. And we had a 10-minute conversation. He's a good dude.
He was the JOP for me and my wife's marriage.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes, sir.
And then just to go through the show, I'm not going to go through each match, but it was a great show. Every match, top to bottom, was fucking amazing action. They crowned a new APW World Champion at the end of the night, and his name, former Rundown host, it's Retrosexual Anthony Green. So good on AG. He seems to be collecting a lot of belts in New England these days. But no, I had a fucking blast. Adam was there. He was okay. He said himself he had an off night. The Big Stick was there doing commentary. It was weird. Everybody was calling him Mark Green. And Jackson was there, which was cool to meet Jackson. Mrs. Big Stick decided to skip the night. She doesn't, I guess, typically go. Doesn't find it that interesting. But I did. I had a blast. And it was a great little company. So, good. If you guys are in the area, go see APW. They do a great show.
It's good to hear an outsider talk good about it, to be honest. It's good. Good.
So you, by the way, Ginger, so you were an anti-American Canadian?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was the Canadian legend Matt Loudon. And I came out with my Maple Leaf phone, a.k.a. a megaphone. And I fucking put the blowhorn on fucking right in people's faces as close as I am to this fucking microphone right now and just blast it right in their face. And I didn't even have to talk shit to anybody. All I had to do was do that. They would shut right up. And I tried to... Sorry, go ahead.
There was also... Oh, no, go ahead.
And also I... when I was Captain Anti-Liberty, attempted, in quotations, people, to set the American flag on fire. That was probably the most nerve-wracking thing I ever did.
Which I imagine would have got you national attention had you actually done it.
Yeah. And, well, there was rumor because the owner of APW, his ex-wife actually contacted him and said, "You lit an American flag on fire?" And we immediately shut it down because, no, that's not what we did. But, yeah. And when you're trying to do that and you know there's ex-military personnel that could easily slide in the ring and fucking kill you, you tend to sweat a little bit. Oh, yeah.
I like the fact that you were a Canadian named after a city in New Hampshire.
Spelled differently.
Just saying. So if you are one of the growing number of people who like to watch us live, watch our faces, you can go ahead and go to youtube.com/rundownwrestling. We are live right now. And you can go over to something that we like to call the Smathers Lounge. And the man himself has checked in. Mike Smathers says, "That's a lot of negativity there, Taz. Did your right hand break up with you?"
Oh.
So
negativity. I just fucking put APW over like $1 million?
Oh no, this was before that time.
This was like wait, okay.
This was Rollins and Becky Lynch, I believe.
Oh, calm down, Smathers. I'm just fucking with them.
Yeah. So you can go ahead, go over there, chat with us. Like I said, Mike Smathers is there. Typically, we see a couple other people, tune in. John Venrick, one of our other fantastic patrons. Kay Napier usually pops in there. Every once in a while, Mrs. Big Stick is in there. Like I said, right now she's taking the full 10, so probably won't be checking in there unless things are going sour. So let's go ahead and get into things here, because the highlight of the week was the fact that The Fiend took out a pedophile. So,
oh my god.
So we had heard, with Corey Graves on vacation, and of course Carmella mysteriously not being there either, that we were going to have a special guest commentator for Raw, and that was Jerry Lawler. Not only that, though, he would also have Sasha Banks live on the King's Court, something that they brought back for Trish Stratus's return. So the King had everything set up in the ring, and he started fucking blathering on about fucking the pay-per-view and stuff like that, before suddenly the lights started to go out, and for once, somebody didn't just go, and stand in the ring. King actually said, "I'm out of here," and proceeded to gradually make his way up the ramp, before finally the lights cut out as soon as he makes it to the top of the ramp. They cut back on. The Fiend is right behind him, horror movie style, and proceeds to stick his fingers down that pedophile's throat and choke his ass out.
Payback's a bitch, motherfucker.
Right. You use chloroform, I use these two fingers.
Oh, shit.
So what did we think about the Fiend's usage this week?
I like it.
Yeah. Go ahead, Sal.
I do, like you said, I appreciate Jerry Lawler was like, oh, no, I've seen this before. I know what comes next. He tries to run away, but then all the lights go before he can run away. The Fiend taking a stand for what's right in this world, I suppose.
Yeah, so
in a horrific sort of way.
Yeah, so Kay Napier chimes in and says, given Bray's Firefly Funhouse promos involved kids, wasn't this a great bit of irony? I agree. And John Venerick says, hey everyone, hey John, welcome. Like I said, look at that. They're like fucking Beetlejuice. You name them and they appear. So yeah, I gotta say, I mean, we had kind of heard that they didn't want to just trot Bray out there every week, so that's why we didn't see him last week, because there wasn't anything that was, essential for him to show up. There wasn't anything that was special. So this here was an opportunity for Bray to take out Jerry, who some people who hate Jerry Lawler, like the members of the show, were happy to see this, and some people that like Jerry Lawler, well, that just gives a little bit more heat to the Fiend. So, but Ginger, your thoughts on the Fiend?
I really enjoyed it. Like you both said, he was like, "I'm getting the fuck out of here," because when that happens, you know what's coming. Yeah. You're gonna get fucked up. I like. Now, his little theory, real quick. He took out Mick Foley.
Yep.
Lawler.
Yep.
An Angle in the middle of that.
An Angle.
Yep.
Yes.
Correct me if I'm wrong. These are all Hall of Famers, correct?
That's correct.
Are we leading to something?
Yes, the legend killer Bray Wyatt.
No. I meant a feud with somebody. I won't say in particular, but as for this vignette, fucking fantastic. I did notice, or I didn't notice it, but I did see on the socials this week, they tweaked his mask look a little bit.
Did they, or was it the lighting? I noticed that too, but I was like, well, maybe it just looks weird.
It wasn't a crazy tweak, but it almost looked like they finished it to how they wanted it.
Yeah.
But yeah, nothing wrong with this. I love the fact that I hope they're not going to have him involved every single week. It wouldn't have made sense for him to randomly come out the night after SummerSlam after kicking the shit out of Finn, unless Finn came out and started talking shit about it.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's I love where they're going with this and how they're treating it. I just keep going with exactly how you're doing it.
Yeah, so you've got some opportunities here. You know, if he continues to attack Legends, I know you're sort of edging towards another Bray Wyatt versus Undertaker feud. If I smell what you're cooking there,
it's fresh.
Yeah, at least at this point, yes, it's much more fresh than the last time the two of them faced off against each other. Where Bray
and it makes more sense this time around.
Yeah, and
now I'm glad you guys liked it, because I did read some things on the social medias that some people were saying him appearing behind Lawler was a little bit hokey, a little bit B-movie style.
No, you see, it's the same people that loved Kevin Owens popping up behind Shane McMahon. You can't fucking have it both ways. They're just trying. Yeah. They're just trying to say something against what this was, because no, that was perfect. I mean, he's supposed to be. I mean, they did the same kind of shit with Kane when he first came out, that he was supposed to essentially be a slasher, fucking person. And that's the thing with the Fiend is like, yeah, he right now he spooks people, he fucks with people, Otherwise,
he's a horror movie character,
and that's
like,
it's.
I love it.
Yeah, it's what's worked for the WWE in the past. Undertaker was a horror movie character. Before he became what he is now, that was the whole thing. Was like he was scary. Like that was the whole point of him. Was like the announcers would, Vince McMahon would get fucking flipped out and, oh my god, he was supposed to be spoopy, So yeah, it makes total sense. I mean, the whole thing with Bray is the atmosphere of spoopiness, and that's what they've been using. And him appearing behind somebody and fucking destroying them is perfect. It goes right in line with that character. I have no problem with it whatsoever.
Nope. If you do, you suck, you jackass.
So yeah, like I said, I mean, we've seen it before. I mean, there are certain characters that play a role, and his role is to be that kind of like horror movie character, I notice he hasn't taken on any black people yet, but there's time. All right, so we're going to go ahead and lump all of this into this one topic here, because we had the first 4 matchups in the King of the Ring tournament. So we had Sami Zayn versus Cedric Alexander. Everyone knew where this one was going.
Alexander was what it was.
Yeah, Cedric Alexander won, but this wasn't just like a Sammy squash or none of that. This was a legitimately hard-fought battle, and it continues the storyline for both of them. And that's largely what every King of the Ring has been building. It's we know the first-round matchups and stuff like that are typically to spin-off feuds or to continue feuds and things like that, or to continue character work, and it made sense with Sammy here to lose because then it led to what we had on SmackDown, which we'll talk about. But then we also had Cesaro versus Samoa Joe in just
Jesus.
Fucking you knew going into it, you're like there is no way this is not going to be a great match. It's
right.
It's Samoa Joe versus Cesaro. And it wound up being a fucking amazing match.
Oh.
Then, of course, we had Apollo Crews versus Andrade over on SmackDown. It reminded you that Apollo Crews is a good worker,
Yeah.
Because that fucking drop kick he hit in midair was just beautiful and crisp. And obviously Andrade went over, but we kind of knew that was what was going to happen.
Yeah.
And then the Kevin Owens versus Elias match, we knew what was going to happen there. I mean, come on. But it did happen. We knew Kevin Owens was not long for this tournament. That's just the way things are. It was a chance for them to progress the storyline with it. So, Ginger, what are your thoughts on the 4 matches that we had to start the tournament?
I liked them all, to be 100% honest. My favorite part of all the matches was the beginning of Cesaro and Samoa Joe, where Cesaro just runs a fucking full blast and just uppercuts the shit out of Joe. It looked like it knocked him out. Mm-hmm. I think he knocked him a little loopy, because I don't think he so much hit him in the chest with his bicep. Mm-hmm. I think he caught him in the chin with his shoulder.
Yeah.
But yeah, that takes nothing away from all the other matches, but that was definitely my favorite match out of all of them. I'm looking very much forward to the rest of this tournament because I think they're going to let these guys go, and that's what I think everybody wants to see.
Yeah. So before Sal gives his thoughts, I just wanted to see, did you see Cesaro's tweet before this match? It was a perfect blend of like realism and kayfabe, because he actually said, like, people asked him if we were going to see a Cesaro swing on Samoa Joe, and he said, "My moveset is perfectly crafted to be used on any person of any size," and that, like I said, it's a perfect blending of the kayfabe aspect of it, but also realism. Like, his moveset is like that. Like,
yeah, motherfucker, big swing, great Khali.
Yeah, he even says it in a tweet. He says, "I did the big swing to Khali. I threw Big Show over the top rope." Like, and yeah, he said Samoa Joe's going to get a European uppercut. Like,
and sure enough, he fucking...
Yeah, and that, like, when you think about it, you're like, he really does. Like, he really, like, the big thing I always remember about shithead Chris Jericho was him talking about the fact that he had to change up his moveset when he came to WWE because of the fact that WWE guys were bigger. That's why the Lion Tamer became, the fucking Walls of Jericho, was because he couldn't do it on the giant fucking 7-foot monsters that they had over in WWE that they didn't have in WCW. So it makes total sense. Like, Cesaro can go anywhere, he can be against anybody, he can use those same moves against cruiserweights that he uses against fucking big guys.
And that's why I'm kind of disappointed that he lost.
Well, it is what it is with that. But so John Benrick says he wants the Sammy thing to end with him being the person that takes the IC belt off of Shinsuke. We'll get to that. But Sal, go ahead and give your thoughts on the first 4 matchups here.
So originally, I really liked Cesaro and Joe, obviously. I was slightly disappointed with Cedric and Sammy because I know that these two could go out there and put on a 15-minute match of the year. You know what I mean? And we didn't get that. It was a little bit short. It was only about 5 minutes of in-ring time. So I walked away from Raw going, I wanted more, right? I felt I got that with Almas and Apollo. Yes. That was a really good match. And then I didn't exactly hate Owens and Elias, but it was there for a storyline purpose. So we kind of, despite all the stuff that happened earlier in the show, and we'll talk about that in a little bit, Kevin Owens versus Elias was not there to be a barn burner, a classic. It was there for a purpose. It served its purpose. It's done now, so we can move on. But I am looking forward to the rest of the first round matchups, and I really, you know what? I'm okay with the first round being slotted at 4, 5, 6 minutes per match. When we start getting into the semifinals or the finals, I want to see these guys get to go.
Yeah, and now you're looking at, the potential matchups from the people who won, and you're starting to think, Cedric Buddy Murphy?
Yes.
You're starting to kind of look at some of them and be like, there's some ones I can kind of see are going to happen, and I'm for it.
Yeah, you bring up a good point. No match really looks bad for the way this is going, regardless of outcomes. So
right. The only thing, I think, if Corbin wins, I think he'd be against Samoa Joe. I think is what they're having right now.
Now Corbin's going against Miz.
Right, but
for
if
the
he
first
wins.
Right, but see, that's one match that I'm like, I could watch it or I could miss it. Like, I don't think that's going to be a.
They're both competent workers, but they're not blow you away workers,
Right.
Although Baron Corbin might blow you just to get some TV time at this point. So that takes us over to the Raw main event, where we yet again throw a gigantic middle finger straight to the tag team division, because Braun Strowman, who one time won the Raw Tag Team Championships with a 10-year-old kid that Jerry Lawler touched, teamed up with Seth Rollins, who is your current Universal Champion, to take on the Good Brothers, who just won the titles 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
And are your new Raw Tag Team Champions. So, over on SmackDown, we have the Revival versus New Day that's shaping out to be the match that's going to be on the next pay-per-view, which I'm excited for. And over on Raw, we again have two thrown together people. And it's always fucking Seth Rollins. What the fuck, man? Two thrown together people who won the title off of a legitimate team. I don't understand at this point. I understand everyone says, oh, well, Vince hates tags and that, but that every report said Vince wasn't here. And that, like, we know that Paul Heyman likes tag teams. He made fucking stars out of the Dudley Boys, who, by all accounts, probably shouldn't have been stars. So, like, what the fuck? Why do we yet again have this shit going on? Because we know what's going to happen. Braun's going to turn heel. They're going to lose those fucking belts back to somebody. And they're going to lead to a match. Why the fuck does it have to include the tag team championships? Sal, help me out.
Okay, I don't want to speak for the Big Stick, but I know he was very upset when this happened, and for good reason. For good reason, in my estimation, when I saw this, putting aside for a second that they just gave the belts to the club, to the OC, I'm gonna put that on the shelf for a minute, because this fucking tired, played out story of let's take the champion and their next challenger and put them together and make them tag team champions. So, oh no, what's gonna happen? They're tag champs, but there's friction because they're gonna fight soon for the world title. I fucking hate it. It's been going on for decades. They did it with John Cena and Shawn Michaels. They did it with fucking Stone Cold and Mick Foley. Like, stop. Just because you have two people going into a main event for the world title does not mean that they need to become fucking tag team champions. And as far as we know Braun turning on Seth, let us not forget that the last time Seth was the Raw Tag Team Champion, he was the Raw Tag Team Champion with one Dean Ambrose, who decided to turn on him within a matter of seconds.
So, so the original run of these fucking belts. Back in 2002 is when these belts were created. Now, at the time, they were the World Tag Team Champions. Does anyone remember who the first champions were?
Was it Shawn and Cena? No, it was 2002. So it was... fuck. I don't know, the Bashams.
No, that would actually have made sense. No, it was Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit.
Fuck.
And then followed up with Edge and Rey Mysterio. It's not a new thing that they've done with this. Now, okay, so here's the most recent run of champions that we've had. So we've got obviously Braun and Seth. So Gallows and Anderson held the belt for 21 days. The Revival before them 49 days. Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder 64 days.
Yeah, but they defended it once.
Before that, the Revival for 54 days. Bobby Roode and Chad Gable 63 days. AOP 34 days. Ambrose and Rollins, 14 days. Ziggler and McIntyre, 49 days. The B-Team, 50 days. Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy, 80 days. Braun Strowman and Nicholas, 1 day. The Bar, 70 days. Jason Jordan and Seth Rollins, 34 days. And then before that, The Bar, 49 days. So you have to go back to The Bar for when there was like a legitimate team that held these titles for a good amount of time. For a good amount of time. None of those are over 100 days, mind you. Yeah, so in 70 days is not great, but it was also The Bar's maybe third or fourth reign by that point. But every single reign after the New Day held them for 483 days have been under 80 days. Yeah, I was going to say, they haven't been the same since the New Day and The Bar were trading those titles, and then they've just been shit. Yep. Ginger.
Do we just want to do a moment of silence for the tag team division?
No, because they've been doing it for decades.
But this was just bad, man. Like, you knew it was going to happen as soon as the match was made, which is disappointing.
What the hell?
Hi. Oh, hi there.
First time in history.
Ladies and gentlemen, live from some part of deep New Hampshire.
From the time machine? What?
Hi. So, for the... Hi. So,
Oh, actually, this is perfect timing for Jason to come in.
What a spotty pick.
Hello, Rundown.
Not yet, Ginger, but give it a few more minutes.
so for those of you listening at home,
The Rundown Wrestling.
that would be a very drunk co-host of Twat Night, Lisa, and a very drunk co-host of this said show, Jason, who are checking in from apparently a hot tub.
Rundown Wrestling.
Oh my god.
They are very much enjoying their vacation.
Via satellite.
They're putting in more work than Corey Graves did this week. I mean, they're both on vacation, but at least Jason decided to check in for a minute.
Yeah. Hey, Jason, real quick, what was your opinion on the tag team title changes this week?
Did you tell them you're in the hot tub with another man? With no shirt?
This just got interesting.
This just became the stinger at the beginning of the episode.
Right.
Oh, the girls left.
He's in the hot tub with another man.
Nice.
I'm not even in the hot tub.
That's because you fell into it already.
I can't tell. Do you
what's
own?
that thinking, boys?
All right, go.
Hey,
Go away,
Chris.
Go away. Go away.
Chris,
Hey, Chris, take your dick out.
Too late.
Oh,
I can't tell.
man.
Do you only have a mustache?
All right, so what are we talking about? What are we talking about, boys?
We were just talking about Braun Strowman and Seth Rollins winning the tag team titles.
They did?
Yes.
Yeah, that sucks.
Fighting commentary, ladies and gentlemen, from the Big Stick.
But it bothers me less because I'm in a hot tub.
I was gonna say the man's on vacation. His mind's not on.
Ugh.
Well, now I'm very glad that I neglected to start a separate phone call without you.
It's actually a light up tub, too. Nice.
Nice. Is your dick out?
I think he just showed us his nipple.
Take your dick out, son.
Don't tell him to do that. We get fucking thrown off the air.
Whatever. Nobody's watching, other than the 7 people that are watching. I'm sure our YouTube chat wants to see Jason. I can't tell if he's dead at this point or not, but he may have just died live on air.
He's probably taking a bong hit off camera.
Jesus.
Good for you, Jason. Smoke him if you got him.
Oh, we already did that.
Oh, man.
The Rundown Wrestling Podcast does not advocate marijuana usage, but you do you.
We even got some pool table, yo.
Nice. You got a pool table by the pool.
Pool table in a hot tub.
Nice.
We're balling.
Would you go to the Jersey Shore house for your vacation?
I wish. Alright, so really, what are we talking about?
That's exactly what
Let's
we
do
were
this
talking about.
shit.
We were talking about the Tag Team Championship. You don't.
Theme song!
You don't. I didn't actually intend on you being here tonight, but you can enjoy your your time off, sir.
Hold on. There we go. Alright.
Okay. Did you bring up the rundown or something?
Oh, my God.
All right. So we were talking about the tag team championships, but let's go ahead and move on to Kevin Owens. So Kevin Owens started off SmackDown by asking Shane if he would reconsider the large fine that he was passed out. He spent the rest of the night bitching out and eventually apologizes to Shane and for his actions. And Shane says that okay, he'll reconsider, which of course led to our King of the Ring matchup. At which point Shane comes out during the match, reveals that he has a referee's uniform on, which means that if Owens touches him, Owens will be fired So because of that, Kevin Owens loses his first round matchup. Ginger.
What an awful sympathy angle. This is bad. This is tough. You really gonna go down this angle? It's not. Like you said, he bitched out. It made him look like a bitch. Oh, you took $100,000 out of my salary. I'm sorry. Can you reconsider, please? Come on, man.
Yeah.
That's what it boils down to, from my opinion. I don't like this angle that they're going with. I hope they drop this angle, but yeah, that's mine.
I do like that the fact that Kevin Owens makes $2.5 million a year, but
Kayfabe.
sorry.
Look, it's this simple. It's so simple that even I know right now, you can't do this shit. It doesn't work. You can't be a badass and be kissing the boss's ass at the same time. It doesn't work. It minimizes all the fucking work they did to build him up and make him super fucking popular. And now all of a sudden, he's a fucking whining little puss bag.
He might as well have just pulled down Shane's pants in his office and give him a blowy right there.
Gawk gawk.
I mean,
And then to further the point, he lost the match. So
yeah.
Kevin Owens is a bitch. He's out in the first round, and guess what? Shane's still fining him $100,000.
Well, like I said, we're hoping, of course, that this leads to Kevin sort of going over the edge, probably getting fired.
I was gonna say he'll get fired if he does.
Yeah, which will be the kind of Stone Cold Steve Austin style that we were kind of hoping for with this. I saw a lot of people were saying that clearly they don't want to make another Stone Cold Steve Austin, which is why they had Kevin Owens bitch out like this. I don't know, man. I think they think that this is a good idea, and we got to remember, like, clearly McMahon doesn't exactly understand how to get legitimate or to manufacture sympathy for people anymore. Like, he tries to trot them out there to talk about their fucking dead relatives. He tries to trot them out there to be like the everyman. Oh, Kevin Owens, he got fined a bunch of money over that. It's like, yeah, but we know how much he makes. Like, that would have made sense when he first started in the company. But now, like, no, he's a top star. Like, he gets paid a lot of fucking money, and we, but yeah, I don't know. So, anything else to say about the Kevin Owens story before we move on?
I just think it's weird because
why?
Because New Hampshire White Mountain Service. That's why.
Either that or he dropped his phone in the hot tub.
In the hot tub.
Those are some nice DSLs he's got, though.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, now he can't.
That was the smartest thing I've ever said on the history of the show, just so you know.
Damn, that sucks.
Yeah, fuck, lost in the ether forever.
Yeah.
Speaking of lost in the ether, I don't know where my shorts are. All right, boys.
God.
All right, man.
Nope. Buddy's eye out. You get a lawsuit for that shit.
All right.
I'm gonna get up and try to find my shit. Hold on.
All right.
Oh god.
All right,
Get moved
buddy.
on.
All right.
Make
Later.
Make her come.
Later.
Hey, Tom!
Bye.
You're welcome.
Oh, pull
God.
Sasha Bank promo. He says, "You're welcome."
Jesus.
All right. That being said, let's move on. So somehow, thanks to known pedophile getting taken out, Sasha Banks went from being live in the ring to via satellite. So she left? Like, she realized, oh, I guess my segment's canceled. I'm gonna go home. Why is she via satellite?
Leave. She
Say via
proved later on the
satellite?
night.
Yes, they said via satellite.
They proved later on the night that she didn't leave.
Right.
So, I maybe she was just in an inaccessible room.
She's backstage. Why didn't someone go backstage with her? Why did they then set up a camera and had her stand in front of it with nobody with her to do an interview with the fucking announce team? Just send hot piece of ass Kathy Kelly back there with a microphone. And
because Vince wasn't there, so nobody knew what the fuck to do.
Nobody can explain to me how they couldn't have thrown someone else on this. You literally have the Miz right there. Do a fucking Miz TV segment with it instead. Be like, well, we're not going to do King's Court, so here's the Miz. Or like I said, just fucking send someone back there with a microphone. You don't have to have it set up like this.
Maybe they didn't want you to think that she was at the arena, so the attack later on seemed more like a surprise.
She was scheduled to be there.
Right.
There's no possible way that you could not think she was there when she was scheduled to be there. They literally were like, he was in the process of announcing her coming out to the ring when he got jumped. Like, you can't just be like, well, I guess she pieced out and then she drove back to the arena. Like, no, everyone knows she's there.
Maybe she was scared to be ringside because maybe the Fiend would have jumped her.
I mean, she might enjoy that. Wowie, zowie.
Can we lump in what happened later with Natty?
I mean, that's kind of all inclusive, yeah. I mean, we're talking. We don't have it as a separate topic.
Okay, so I had mentioned in our Discord channel. Here we go, Natty again, bitching, woe is me, and Sasha kicks the shit out of her. Right? I actually do want this to be a weekly thing. I want Natty to look even more beat up every single week. Maybe next week her arms she has both arms in a sling. Then she can have an eye patch, and she can be like, I don't know what to do. Sasha keeps beating me up, and then have Sasha jump her again. I swear it's fucking gold.
Well, I mean, someone needs to beat the fucking pussy farts out of this content. Get her off my fucking TV. I know I saw a lot of people that were pissed off about the fact that yet again WWE's going back to that well of bringing up dead wrestlers. Everyone hated the fucking Eddie Guerrero thing except for anyone who said that Eddie Guerrero's ghost would love it. We did the same thing with the fucking Riot Squad and Talia's dumb stupid ass, and now we're doing it again. Where, like, you've got Becky Lynch who literally goes out there and just throws fucking fire, and Sasha's response is, I'm gonna make fun of the dead guy. Like, you gotta do a little bit better than that. And, like, it takes away a little bit of the momentum of the storyline to even have Natalya still be a part of it, when nobody wants to see that. We all want to see Becky versus Sasha. That's the fucking money right there. Get Natalya the fuck out of this feud.
Well, the problem is you don't have this match until, what, a month? Is Clash of Champions, so this is all filler shit until they do a face-to-face with Becky and Sasha.
You can do other things than have...
Yeah,
that's true.
So much shit.
Well, to your point, Becky's promo was fire.
Yeah.
That was fucking great. It's the best she's talked in months.
Yeah. I mean, you can do it's worked numerous times before. Becky Lynch gets thrown into a match against Liv Morgan, and then fucking Sasha comes out and gives her the best statement, you know. Sasha Banks is in a match against somebody else, and fucking Becky and Bex, you know. Two of them have fucking Benny Hill music playing as they steal fucking cop cars and run them into each other. There's so much more you can do than to have.
So Cole asks Sasha, like, what's, give an explanation, or, you're what everybody's talking about. And Sasha's like, yeah, everybody's talking about my hair. And Cole basically says, nobody gives a fuck about your hair.
I was happy that she did Damian Sandow proud with the "You're welcome." And then just fucks off again. So there's still aspects of this that are good, but there's aspects of it that are bad. Like I said, anything that has to do with pussy farts being on fucking camera is bad. Becky Lynch continues to do it, and this is what we've been waiting for. Go ahead and Ginger.
Like, I don't understand why Natalya has to be involved with this. She should have been off TV after the ass whooping she took last week.
Yeah,
with an injured arm. She got fucking clobbered in the face last week and had the shit. Why does she have to be on TV in this angle? There's so many. I just said it a minute ago. There's so many things that you can do to build up this thing to where there's so much tension. It's about to fucking pop, and then it does at the pay-per-view when they have their match.
It is weird that they build the heel in Sasha by beating up Natty, and everybody in the crowd cheers for her beating up Natty.
Because they still seem to think that people care about Natalya. And
Nobody gives a fuck about Natalya. And guess what? Jim the Anvil Nighthawk wasn't the nicest guy in the world either.
Jim the Anvil was a piece of shit. Deserved it.
He was a fucking raging piece of shit.
Yeah, but and the one thing that's pissing me off about this is the commentators saying, "Oh, she's at the most vulnerable time of her life." That was a year ago.
That was a year ago.
Died.
And you did that story into the ground with Ruby Riott. So.
Which I didn't mind that.
No, I thought it was good. I actually thought it was one of Ruby's best programs on the main roster.
Do it again. Is just, come on, man. Like, it's frustrating. But hey, we don't book the shit. So we just got to sit back and deal with it.
Neither do they. You think they actually sat down and wrote this?
I mean, we did have a Reed Flair fucking comment dropped like 6 years after his death, so that apparently still was a stinger. Yeah, like you said, it's been a fucking year. Like, she's not in her most vulnerable. Like, her fucking going out there and telling stories about her dad wishing from fucking heaven or like, fuck off, dude. First of all, nobody wants to hear that shit anyways. And to do it on a program like that, like, are you trying to make Sasha a face? Because that's how you get Sasha's face.
Because that's working.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, it's fucking garbage. So, Jesus Christ. So
I would like to say that's the last we see of Natty. I would like to say that, but we'll see what happens.
As Jason has reminded us numerous times, she gives really mediocre handjobs to Paul Heyman, and that's why she continues getting booked. So that's what's going to keep happening. I mean, her fucking vegetable husband ain't getting it up at this point. Unless he goes ahead and subscribes to Blue Chew. You can use promo code I have to put up with
Ginger.
Yeah. Anyways, so we had, I completely forgot my next topic. So we had what we thought was going to be the reveal of who has been narrowly avoiding hitting Roman Reigns with objects, and it got some mixed results, for sure. We spent a better part. Okay, so about halfway through this episode, we show a dude sitting in a chair with a towel over his head. And the entire time of the show, Roman can't find this locker room where this guy's sitting. He patiently waits his turn until the end of the show when he can be like Scooby-Doo reveal it. Like, how does that make sense that he wouldn't, as soon as that got on camera, he wouldn't be like, I'm gonna go beat the shit out of that fucking guy that they got in that chair right there. They literally had a match that they.
I was gonna say there was an opportunity too where Bryan and Rowan weren't there.
They left and had to go to the ring, and Rowan was just like standing outside, like, I'm gonna wait until they come back because they're gonna show me. So,
like how you called him Rowan.
Roman. So the big reveal, of course, was that it was a dude who looked exactly like Rowan. And, okay, like, clearly a comedy spot.
No, I think that they were going for like, oh my God, that's why Buddy Murphy thought it was Rowan.
No, I don't believe that for a second. One, Daniel Bryan could not fucking stop laughing through this entire segment. To the way that they did it and stuff like that. They did it in their typical fucking style of WWE when they're trying to do something funny by like playing it off completely serious. But it was something to make Vince McMahon laugh. That, oh, there's a guy that looks like Rowan. That's the fucking thing. And a lot of people are like, that's it. Like, no, that's not it. This is Daniel Bryan being an asshole. Like, this isn't the reveal. This isn't the end of it. It's going to come back around, and that is Daniel Bryan. They're just fucking with Roman. And he's clearly an idiot because he's going along with it. To all the idiots out there who thought this was Luke Harper, you were fucking stupid.
Fucking idiots.
How?
When I read that.
Wait, who thought it was Luke Harper?
People thought that Luke Harper shaved his head and dyed his beard.
Stop!
There was legitimate... Yeah.
Nothing like him.
There was legitimately people who thought that was Luke Harper sitting there.
Wow.
That it altered his look. And no. Like, no. Never.
No, you fucking idiots.
Guys, I hate to break it to you, internet. It's nobody.
Yes.
It's just a guy who looks like Rowan.
They literally put out a casting call for a guy that looks like Ginger with less hair.
I was just gonna say.
I was gonna say, could I have an audition for this fucking part? You got the payday from WWE.
You've got,
I was gonna say, listen, Rundown fan, it's actually Ginger. He had a bald cap on.
Yep. No, like I said, this. I get people were thinking that they blew the reveal. They didn't blow the fucking reveal, man. This isn't the reveal. This is them fucking with him. That's what they do.
Yeah, but this wasn't
assholes.
but this was not a 9 o'clock segment. This was the fucking way they ended this show.
Right, to piss people off. That's what this
Well,
was.
yeah.
They piss people off. And let's not forget, where's Daniel Bryan's career-changing announcement? Where's the numerous times that Brock Lesnar was advertised with shows that never showed up? Like, this is what they do. They promise you things and don't give it to you. Because they think that this makes you want it
Bischoff
more.
is in charge of SmackDown right now, and this is very 2099 WCW. But no, dude, I've watched wrestling for so many years, and this just seemed like so fucking lazy and hokey, and like you mentioned, the Scooby-Doo reveal of, how can there be two Eric Rowans? Like, stop.
There's literally another motherfucker on the roster who looks like Rowan, but he has a mohawk. Okay, like they have more than one guy that looks like him. All right, like,
and you know what? Actually, the reveal part is fine. What I would have done differently is have Roman be like, "You motherfuckers," and just have him beat up Rowan and Bryan right there.
beat up the fucking guy in the chair. Like,
Yeah,
you had
fucking
ample
throw
opportunity.
him around a little bit. At least then you get it that Roman's pissed. You know what I mean? Instead, Roman's like, "Whoa, I don't know which one's which."
No, I don't know.
He had this dumb look on his face, like,
I took that as he was fucking confused by what was going on. Because he's what the fuck is this? I thought that's what I took it as, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Ginger, what do you think?
Do you know what this reminded me of? And it's the stupidest thing. You know that meme of Spider-Man, the two Spider-Men pointing at each other like, hey, hey,
Yeah.
hey.
Yes.
What the fuck, dude? Okay, so, God, it was so frustrating to me, and here's why. You build this up for 3 weeks.
yeah.
Okay, so you think this is the fucking big reveal. So in my head, I'm like, all right, cool, you know. But once they had the rag over his head, it was gonna go one of two ways, and unfortunately, it went the shitty way. But one way, it could have been a person. I had said this in the host thread. It could have been Luke Harper. It could have been Buddy Murphy was fucking around and just in on it with those two, or an NXT superstar, and he wasn't chained or cuffed or anything like that, and they took his hood off and they beat the shit out of Roman. Mm-hmm. But no, you go the fucking god damn, he looks just like him route. Come on, man. I understand this is a big ruse, and obviously now we know it's just going to be Bryan and Rowan that were in it on doing it, all these attacks and shit. But this really, this is the first angle with Roman that I was actually like into.
Right.
And this kind of soured it out for me, to be honest.
Yeah, because if it ends up being Bryan, then it's like, well, who gives a shit? You know what I mean?
I mean,
why do we have to go all the way around just to get back to where we started?
Because that's Daniel Bryan's way of being an asshole.
I guess, but you know what else this reminded me of? Do you remember Fake Diesel and Fake Razor?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what this had that written all over it. Like, oh, I promise you, next week you're gonna get Diesel and Razor Ramon, and then it's two fucking indie guys and Kane dressed as fucking Fake Diesel, and you were just like, the fuck is this shit? Seriously?
Okay. So Mike Smathers has 2 comments. I'll go with the good one first. It should have been Maria, in quotations. I am the first pregnant hit and run driver in the WWE. I'm so over the shit. And then also Smathers says, me thinks Jason had a few, glad he is having a good vacation. We all are. He's much deserving of it. But this angle, like I just said, it's soured out for me. They better do something really good to bring me back into it, because right now I have taken my script and I've thrown it in the air.
Well, Roman's gonna be like, he's gonna grab the fake Rowan and he's gonna be like, who put you up to this? And the guys are gonna say, I answer to a higher power. It was me, Austin. It was me all along.
It was me, Roman. It was me all along.
I totally wouldn't fucking put it past them.
Fuck, man.
All right, so now for some more news. So I realize that we've been throwing around this joke for the past couple of episodes on a couple of our different podcasts, and nobody might know what we're talking about. There is a video up there of a gentleman explaining that the USA logo looks like a dude with his dick out getting a blowjob from a dolphin. So...
Isn't that dude you?
No, it's not me.
Oh, no. I've seen the video.
Oh, I thought he completely came up with that shit.
Oh, no, and that's why I said it on the fucking... on Revisited last night.
Yeah. So for anyone... Nope, that's not it. So for anybody that that hasn't seen it, I'm going to... Right now on our YouTubes, I'm going to go ahead and show you what I'm talking about by sharing my screen. All right. The USA logo.
Yep.
Do not pay attention to the negative space in the S. Pay attention to what you got here. That is a dolphin's face. That is a dude and his dick hanging out.
Wiener hanging out. Yep.
All right. So that, when we talk about dolphin blowjob, is the USA Network.
But go and watch the video that is now starting to circulate. It's the guy is a fucking nutcase, but it's hilarious the way he presents it.
Yes. So the big news is that NXT is going live on Dolphin Blowjob Network, starting on the 18th of next month. 18th, right? September 18th. Yes. So it is going to be a live 2-hour show. You guys had talked about it on Revisited yesterday regarding the fact that they have recorded every episode leading up to that. So Sal's hoped that they were going to focus on storylines. They can't. They literally can't. Like,
no, I meant what they recorded. No, I meant what they recorded. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out on TV leading into September 18th.
Yeah,
because obviously they knew before we knew that when they were going live.
I don't know that they did at the time of the recordings. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know that they knew that was going to be locked up, because we heard about it last week that they were talking about this. You know, so it just, you know, it makes me wonder, kind of thing. Now, I mean, we'll see, but NXT is one of those shows that, like, the next couple of shows we get on the network aren't really going to matter in terms of the live product, because the live product is going to be a 2-hour show. It means they got 2 hours to do whatever the fuck they want. We're right now in that, like, desolate wasteland between takeovers where we're not quite starting storylines yet. So once we get the live show, then we'll see where it goes. But Ginger, you had something to say.
Yeah, and I completely lost my fucking train of thought. Oh, now, in my opinion, I think this has been in the works since the Fox deal happened, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Because TV deals don't just happen overnight. And where USA is losing a WWE show on Fridays, why not pick up another one?
Right.
You know? So that's my honest opinion. I keep seeing these people, oh, WWE did this on purpose to feud with AEW. Shut up. I'm so tired of hearing that. But
no, what WWE did was expand even more.
Yeah,
absolutely they did.
They expanded, and everybody's like, "Oh, they moved to Wednesday nights." No, you idiots! NXT has been on Wednesday nights since it was fucking a weekly episodic thing on the network. Right.
So
I believe
correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So we did find out that it's not going away from the network, because
Nope.
They don't have those things in place yet, like they do with Hulu, where Hulu will show, the Raw truncated the next night. So we will have NXT debut. We'll have NXT on Wednesday on USA Network. Thursday they will put it on the network. So
Correct.
Wednesday USA Network, Thursday WWE Network. I don't know if they're going to trim it down.
I heard that it will also be on demand, 24 hours after it airs live on USA.
I'm sure it will be. Yeah, because it's USA, and USA is normally pretty good about getting that shit right out.
Yeah. So the other thing that we do know from this is that there's still a lot of talk that we're going to be losing 205 Live next month. So we have we have already started to transition some of the guys over to appearing on Raw and SmackDown. So the idea there is that 205 Live goes away, and then to utilize the 3 live shows they've got now during the week to showcase some of the talent that they have left over there, considering that looks like Kalisto and Grand Metal Dick are probably going to be out of the company in a little bit. And you still will have the Cruiserweight Championship, but it'll just be essentially like the women's tag belts where, Drew Gulak will show up on both shows or wherever they go.
I was going to say, that in the sense that they're mythical.
Yeah,
they're
in
mythical
the sense that you only see it every once in a great while, yeah. But yeah, so the big news for us is that means that we will no longer be revisiting NXT. We will instead be doing an NXT rundown, which will debut the same night of the live show for NXT. Once we do have October roll around, though, we will be moving that show to Thursday, and we will be talking about that in our main event, though. But let's talk about the fact that the next couple of weeks for NXT will be a lot of really interesting, because clearly they're going to be starting to film some extra stuff to start putting in. We already saw it on yesterday's episode 2, where they talked about the move. The NXT guys on social media have been blowing it up, talking about what they're doing with their USA Network money and what they the plans they're doing, and of course Adam Cole taking credit for the move to 2 hours and the move to a network. So
that's a smart heel thing to do.
Yeah.
But so me and Ginger tried to truncate a little bit last night because we wanted to save all of our opinions for tonight's episode.
Yep.
In the flagship program. So they say in life, timing is everything, and it sucks to be AEW because their core demographic is that 18 to 35. Oh, I don't know, NXT fan. Yep. You know what I mean? And I don't think Vince did this necessarily on purpose as far as what day of the week, but as Ginger mentioned, this has been brewing for a long time. This has been something that was built from the ground up. And Triple H has done a phenomenal job of gathering that buzz and gathering that fan loyalty to where we are now, where we have 2 hours of live TV a week. Good on NXT. It's an amazing fucking step for them. I did read something today that I thought was interesting to bring up. People who think that Vince is going to be having his hands all over and take over NXT. Ugh. Vince McMahon is getting ready to fully go into his XFL deal. And he's starting to, from what all reports we're hearing of what he's telling his XFL people, he's going to be phasing himself out of the current product for most occasions. Not completely, but the last thing Vince is going to do is take over another show.
Right.
So I think this is Triple H, 100%. This is his baby. He's built this from the ground up, and I think Triple H will run it with his inner circle and how they decide to present it live on USA. And I'm excited. This should be fucking great for a lot of the talent down there. They have this situation now where they can move talent around between all 3 shows if they choose to. But even just the people who are in NXT now, they're ready. People like Adam Cole, Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa when he comes back. This is a huge fucking deal.
Yeah. So, you're not going to be able to convince people that Vince McMahon didn't intentionally do everything in his power to fuck with AEW. You have people sitting there and siding with the fucking Bucks, stuff like that, when they talked about the whole Evolve show and how, like, oh, they just put it, this is the first time that they ever showed it and they're putting it on. Well, yeah, this is a fucking anniversary show, ass dicks. Like, and again,
I think that's for their bigger picture plan of they're going to have Evolve in the network.
Yeah,
so.
And, like, it's the same thing, like, they were talking about, like, counter programming, fucking, you know, shit for SummerSlam. It's like, yeah, for SummerSlam weekend, they always fucking put a bunch of shit on stuff like that. But again, people are always going to read everything into it. Oh, everything that we see on the main on the main roster is in response to an AEW thing, or this show is moving to Wednesday because of an AEW thing. Like, what we're going to have now is Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays for WWE, and it's going to be 3 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours, and that's what their goal was. And so that way they've got that Tuesday and Thursday in between, if they need to do something and things like that, and now you've got a lot more dominance. So then you're going in big weekends, you're going to have Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Like, that's their takeover. That's their, you know. I'm curious to see what happens with takeovers, because at this point, do you create NXT as a third brand and maybe do like a full-on triple, like they did with ECW versus Raw and SmackDown, you know, where it's three brands against each other? Do you have like a Survivor Series triple threat match where 3 teams, you know, one from NXT, one from, you know, or do you keep it as it's kind of separate redheaded stepchild that it's been, and just do the takeovers and not have them on any of the main WWE shows?
To that point, I would think really the only time you would have you keep them separate for the most part, but maybe once a year you have like 1 or 2 matches where they, you know, have guys from both brands go at it. Other
like
than
Survivor Series.
Yeah.
No, not even that. Like, you go maybe like, I don't know, like a grudge match at WrestleMania or something.
Yeah,
Give
I'd
that-
be fine
you
with
know
an
what I mean?
NXT match at
Just
WrestleMania,
keep-
sure.
No, not even. You just have like, I'm just throwing this out there, Gargano versus fucking Sami Zayn at Mania.
Oh,
because
okay.
they, you know what I mean? Just something, a grudge match. Put NXT in the spotlight, because you know now, I have a feeling, you're going to get an NXT match at Mania.
So
Maybe.
the other thing too is this does sort of affect Royal Rumble too,
Yep.
because largely it's been the unknown show of NXT that's only watched by 1 million people, and here's all of a sudden this guy that shows up that only a select number of people know, or whatever that. Now putting it on USA, you're going to get a much larger audience, and now when all of a sudden Adam Cole shows up, the crowd is going to have probably a bigger reaction to it, because I know this guy. Like, I watched him on that NXT show, you know?
Well, when Gargano came out at the Rumble, and fucking Cole, when they both came out, they got huge pops.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Royal Rumble, we'll all say it, is the fucking Smarks pay-per-view.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they're going to fucking pop for him, but I think, to your point, again, this is going to bring a lot more attention for the people that don't know who the hell they are.
I think it also is going to make, if you bring somebody from NXT to Raw or SmackDown, it makes that transition a lot easier too.
Yeah.
Because now
And it makes it cooler. Because if you actually separate the shows and keep them separated, then when somebody does show up on another brand, it's going to be a big deal like it used to be when somebody would jump ships, you know, from WCW to WWE.
Yeah. So
you know?
the other thing, the timing on this makes it so that they could have NXT invade Raw and SmackDown, because you can still talk about them being on the USA Network on SmackDown. You're not going to be able to do that once October rolls around. You're not going to hear them talk about another network that much anymore.
No, but Mondays is going to do so much to promote Wednesday.
Yes. That's
And
what I'm saying,
that's
is you can
another
have-
benefit thing
Yeah.
for Triple H in NXT, because it's like you're going to get all this fucking free promotion from your new network.
Well, and I think once you have the live show over on Wednesday, I think you might see a match, you know, on Raw for the first couple of weeks that are just NXT guys, and be like, you can watch these guys like they did with 205 Live when that started up. Here's some cruiserweights, you know, you can watch them over on the network on 205 Live, you know.
and vice versa.
Yeah.
Just the first couple weeks NXT goes live in 2 hours, I can totally see somebody like a Sami Zayn or somebody like Cesaro show up on NXT that week.
Let's be honest here. I mean, it'll be like Roman Reigns or somebody like that, or Seth Rollins.
Crazy. That makes more sense because of his history as the first ever.
Yeah,
Roman was on it too, though.
Yeah, barely.
Yeah, but I think Rollins is looked at more of the superstar from NXT.
Yeah, but you've got other guys. You got Finn Balor, obviously.
Oh yeah,
Shinsuke.
Yeah.
Now, I know you have listened to Revisited, but for anybody who didn't, there was a little side scroll on the bottom where they were selling tickets for TakeOver War Games the night before Survivor Series. So it seems like, as far as for 2019, that's their final TakeOver. And what they do with the TakeOver schedule starting in 2020 is what we'll see what they do.
Yeah.
Are they going to latch on to WWE pay-per-views? Are they going to join WWE pay-per-views? Are they going to be their own thing still? We'll see how that goes.
I think it's still going to be separate just because of the fact that there's no room at the end.
No.
Yeah, because I believe they already released for SummerSlam 2020 in Boston. You can buy
TakeOver
Friday TakeOver. Yeah, so I think they're going to stick with the separation. But like I said before, I think you're going to get a fucking grudge match. You're going to get a Clash of Brands match at Mania this year.
Real quick, guys, I just thought of something. So we have a lot of established NXT stars like the Adam Coles and Undisputed Eras and stuff like that, Velveteen Dream. And that's great. We see them. We know they're going to get TV time. But to fill 2 hours, are we going to get more of the people that we don't see from, like, the PC? Somebody like a Chelsea Green?
I think that they've got enough talent right now that we're not seeing on a weekly basis that they already can fill out those 2 hours. But yeah, I can see them start using a lot more of those guys. I can see them, at least in the short term, using some of the Raw and SmackDown talent that they've got kicking around. You know, Apollo Crews will show up and wrestle a match against someone to put him over, things like that. But yeah, they've got plenty of talent where you can actually, once they go live, you need to get that belt off Velveteen Dream and put it on a mid-carder to use that belt as a mid-card belt, because he is not a mid-carder.
Right.
Nope.
So I think...
Well, I think it's Roddy. I mean, I think it's Roddy Strong. I think that's the natural progression.
Right. So if you put it on Roddy, Roddy is definitely a mid-card level character. You can have him kind of run it. He's main event adjacent because he's got Cole with him. Then, you know, you have... the guys have all the belts like we've been waiting to have. Spoiler alert. Sorry, Ginger.
I saw it that night that you were talking about.
Yeah, see, you had us all so paranoid. Me and Ginger went to check afterwards.
No, I didn't check. I was just scrolling through the socials, and I was like, "Oh, motherfucker!"
Dude, it's so easy. It's the downfall sometimes of liking things on Facebook and stuff like that. Is that you can things. I mean, there's a big main character death in a show that I haven't caught up with yet that I know about 6 episodes. So I was like, well, that sucks. But yeah, so but we will definitely see. We'll keep you entertained until then. So let's talk about some ladies again, because last week Charlotte and Ember Moon seemed like they were starting a feud. And then this week they're just like, nah, fuck it. Let's throw Charlotte right back into that, because they remembered that, oh shit, that's right, we actually have to have every single one of our titles defended at this next pay-per-view, because that's our gimmick.
That's the gimmick.
So we can't just forget about Bayley for a month. So we have to have a match with her. I am curious, of course, to see, this means that they actually will have to have the women's tag team belts on this program. If it's Clash of Champions, don't you technically also have to have the 24/7 championship defended at Clash of Champions?
Well,
because it is a belt. It's one of their belts, even if it's
there's your pre-show match.
No, I think that's why they haven't been having Elias drop it, because I think they want to have a somewhat of a quality match for it.
But I think also that they make it where it's like he can't escape. He can't escape the rules if he's actually in a match.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to go and run and take care of something, but you guys can talk about Charlotte against Bayley. I'll be right back.
So on the host thread, I had told these guys that I didn't watch it, but they gave me shit because I don't watch that. But I did. I went back and watched it.
Okay.
They, God damn it! Like, what the hell? Why does it have to be Charlotte?
Oh, I could tell you why.
I mean, we know why.
It's because of October. It's because Fox wants her front and center with that women's title.
Motherfucker. Why? Like, and it's funny that you bring that up because in her promo on A Moment of Bliss, she specifically is talking about that. She gets sent to the interviews. She's the superstar. She's on the red carpets, all this stuff. I think you're right on the button. I think, unfortunately, we're going to see Bayley's title run come to an end at Clash of Champions. Now, they could have easily continued this feud between Charlotte and Ember Moon. As much as we don't really like them, this could have been a triple threat. That way, Ember would have stayed in the picture. It could have easily gone down like this, right? They have a match for the number one contendership, double pin.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? It's as simple as that. But
no, and you bring up a good point because it would have done Ember justice.
Yeah,
her fans would have been happy because she would have been kept in that title picture.
And
Ember deserves to be in that title picture because she's on the come up. But
it wouldn't have killed Charlotte's win over Trish either.
Right, because Charlotte's also in the title picture.
That's what I mean. She would have pinned her. They would have pinned each other. So really, nobody would have taken a hit at what they're doing with them right now.
And at that point, you have something intriguing where you have a triple threat between Charlotte, who just beat Trish, Ember, who's a rising star, and Bayley, the defending champion, who's trying everything to hold on to her belt.
Exactly.
Instead, we're going back to Bayley and Charlotte, a feud we have done probably 5 times since they've been on the main roster together. And I know I'm probably exaggerating, but at the same point in time, there's nothing interesting to me about Bayley and Charlotte other than I just picture Charlotte winning the belt. Yep. Did you think Bayley's little temper tantrum at the end of Moment of Bliss was beneficial to her character, or did it make her just look like a fucking temperamental child?
Beneficial, because that's basically saying that she's not gonna sit there and let people talk shit about her the whole time.
She's not gonna take it.
Yeah.
No, she's not gonna take it.
She's not gonna hug it anymore. But no, yeah, I don't think it hurt her because of the crowd popped for it when she pushed her over in the chair.
Funny, Alexa won that moment because afterwards on Twitter she was like, "Oh, Charlotte, how embarrassing for you."
By the way, if anybody for the 4 people watching right now on YouTube, do yourselves a favor. If you know those Kermit the Frog gimmicks where he's like, this tea though. If somebody does not screenshot Alexa and Nikki Cross sipping their drinks and make a fucking meme, I'm gonna be livid.
Exactly.
I have the screenshot, Ginger1987.6. DM me and I'll hook you up with it.
Ah, see, there you go. So, there's a lot of people that are upset that Charlotte's back in the title picture. I'm not as really mad because it's just a matter of fact, like I said, they're going to Fox. There's going to be a lot more people upset when Brock Lesnar shows up to take Kofi Kingston's belt next month. As network, are we really that surprised? Come on.
You know, with the Charlotte being in the picture, I hate it. Well, do I hate the fact that they're going to have a match? No, because they're obviously going to have a good match. Yeah. But the fact that, Charlotte has the 9-time women's champion, 10-time now. Holy fuck! And I mean,
she's a 10-time women's champ who just pinned Trish Stratus.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's almost criminal to not have her in the title picture when you look at her pedigree. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I get it, but and look, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Bayley wins. Maybe Bayley pins Charlotte. I mean, I'd be fucking shocked. But Who knows? Maybe they throw a rocket to baby. Maybe they throw a rocket on Bayley, and they really do make her the face of the women's division.
Yeah, and that would actually kind of fucking. This is something that I thought of, right? So, on the host thread, Jason had said if Ember turned around and beat Charlotte, it would almost take away the passing of the torch-esque of the match against Trish and winning. But in reality, they could have played it in a way that Charlotte was acting as Ember was below her, and she really didn't matter, and she took the leniency, and she got caught. But they didn't go that route. But
I was gonna say, you have to tell that story, though. You have to tell the story that Charlotte's in her, she's got a big head, and she thinks that she's better than everyone else, and that Ember caught her off guard. But you didn't tell that story.
But she kind of did when in her match with Trish, because she was like, "Oh, you're an old timer. You're not as fast." You know what I mean? So she could have continued to play it that way.
Yeah, but she, whatever.
Well,
Troy, your thoughts on Charlotte, your new Fox Women's Champion?
I mean, I get it. We know that these things are going to happen before, we debut on Fox. We're either going to have it take place on the first episode, or we're going to have them go into it, because they want the bigger names. Which is why, as I've said numerous times, I'm pretty sure Kofi's going to drop that belt before October.
You sure you weren't listening to us while you were gone?
No, you clearly just regurgitating what I have said numerous times before.
I said that. I said that. For all the people who are upset about Charlotte being in this picture, wait till Brock takes the belt off of Kofi.
Right. I mean, that's probably what's going to happen. Or he takes it on the first episode, like I said. But yeah, I mean, I guess eventually she had to make her way back to the title picture, because that's the way she is. But I think it's already too quick for her to have that many title reigns and stuff like that, and it sort of takes away from it a little bit, where it's like, yeah, Ric Flair won 16 championships, but he did it over like 40 years, and like John Cena won 16 championships, he did it over 10 years. He didn't win 16 championships in 5 years,
Right.
So
Ginger brought up a good point that they could have kept Ember in this feud and made it a triple threat at Clash,
right.
And then all three are kind of kept strong at that point.
Right. Yeah, well, and then obviously you can have it where if you want to put the belt on Charlotte and keep the feud, then she pins Ember, and then Bayley sits there and goes, "Well, you didn't even beat me," kind of thing. But we'll see. I mean, there's still a lot that can happen. We don't. This isn't an official match yet for any means either.
Right.
So,
that's true.
They can obviously plans change, buddy.
Before we move on, how nice did Charlotte's legs look on SmackDown?
Honestly, not bad. Honestly, pretty good.
God,
She wear heels more often.
She's definitely. I don't know if it's just a matter of her changing up her workout routine to not be, you work out differently when you're a wrestler than if you're a bodybuilder and things like that, and she's been a bodybuilder for a long time, kind of thing. So, maybe she's just changing up a little bit and realizing like, oh, I can still be strong, and still do everything I could do in the ring, but I can look a little bit better too by, maybe focusing a little bit more on the ass and maybe some more on the legs and things like that, But yeah, I mean, she's still in phenomenal fucking shape. Obviously, I mean, she's a beast.
Oh yeah.
To tie that in, Trish had once said that when she started doing wrestling, she wanted to look like a comic book superhero,
Right.
like a Wonder Woman. Yeah. So she worked a lot on her legs, on her fucking glutes. You know what I mean? And she did. She came off, had that very thick, Wonder Woman
delicious, scrumptious looking figure.
Yeah. Well, you look at it. I mean, John Cena, when he first started wrestling down in OVW as the prototype, to where when he first debuted on SmackDown, I think he debuted on.
Yeah, SmackDown.
Yeah.
He was still obviously fucking built like a brick shithouse, but he was not as chiseled and not as huge as he was when he first started coming out the bodybuilder thing, because he realized like, yeah, I can't go. Like, you completely work out differently if you're trying to look good.
Yeah, you train different.
Yeah. And like the same thing with The Rock. Like The Rock can't step in the ring right now. Like he's fucking chiseled, but he's aesthetically huge.
Yeah, he's doing it for aesthetics,
Yeah.
and he's tailoring his workout and his diet for those purposes.
Right, exactly.
But a lot of people do that as well.
Right.
A local indie person, he does the bodybuilding competitions and he bumps
Right.
every
Right.
week. So it's like,
But I wonder if he has to change his diet if he knows he's going to do a competition coming up. You know what I mean? If he has to go to like a all juice diet or like an all fucking keto diet or whatever when he knows he's got to like cut weight for a competition. Like,
But look at
God, there's too much to go into it for my fat ass to pay attention
well,
to.
and all you gotta do is look at a guy like Cesaro, and you go, that's a guy who's probably one of the strongest guys in WWE right now, and he doesn't look it. You know, he does not look like he is as strong as he actually is. You know, but yeah, I mean, you know, it's the same thing with the women too. I mean, you look at somebody like Becky. She's got a lot more tone to her than, you know, she ever did before, and her moveset has changed a little bit, but she's still generally doing the same kind of thing. But like, you know, Dana Brooke, when she first started, was still kind of the bodybuilder thing. Couldn't move as well in the ring, and now is much more fluid. You know, Alexa Bliss obviously as well went from being a bodybuilder to, you know, looking like a snack, but also, you know, being able to go longer matches and things like that. And that was one of the problems. That's the problem we had in the fucking 80s, so because everyone was just trying to look as fucking big as possible, that everyone was fucking juiced after, you know, and everyone was just exhausted after fucking 5 minutes of walking around. So it's time to talk about Sami Zayn, International Advocate, because so after Sami lost his first round matchup, he had something he needed to say, and he needed to say it on Miz TV. So he proceeded to, you know, run down the fact that, yeah, you know, he's been losing everything and stuff like that, and somehow this led to him teaming up with Shinsuke Nakamura. Okay. Okay, so here's the thing. This is in all honesty. This isn't a bit. When Shinsuke came down, I legit went, oh, he's the IC champion, that's right. I completely forgot. Legitimately forgot he was the Intercontinental champion when he came walking out.
yeah, because he was running a semi-program with Ali, wasn't he?
Yeah. And then
right
what the hell happened there?
Right up until SummerSlam, where Ali was on Twitter, you know, pretty much saying that he wanted a title shot because he pinned Shinsuke,
Yeah.
and he didn't have to be at SummerSlam, but he wanted one down the road, and they did fuck all nothing with it.
Well, I think they had a match at that Smackville when they did that on the network.
But it's a fucking house show. Who gives a shit?
Still a match.
It's not a TV program, though.
Yeah, but it was on the network. It was aired on the network.
I didn't watch it, but
I didn't either. But I randomly saw it. I forget what the fuck I was doing. But yeah, I was like, oh,
So
that's where that match happened?
It's interesting that you said, oh, look, oh my god, that's right, Shinsuke's the IC champ, because the first thing I thought of when Shinsuke appeared was, oh, they're going to have Sami do his talking, of course.
Yeah. Right. So
Because you know what? It makes fucking sense. He's gonna have a belt, have him have a mouthpiece.
Right, and Sami hasn't done much of anything, and Sami can talk. We know he can talk. He can go out there and fucking talk for an hour, you know, and still be captivating. And the heel work by Shinsuke here was fantastic as well, where like Miz actually was like, "You're seriously gonna let him do all the talking for you?" And Shinsuke says, "No," and just pointed over to. And then obviously with the fucking kick to the back of the head and then the Kinshasa and everything that afterwards was great too. But yeah, so the crux of this, I guess, is that Sami blames his losing on him. Like it's so hard to even fucking figure out what he was blaming it on, but essentially that like he was letting his ambition get in the way of being the artist that he is.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's like
like, in other words, I got caught up in like wanting to win, like for my own ego, but it's about the artistry, man.
Yeah. And then of course says that the artist Shinsuke is an artist himself, and yeah, so that Sami is now going to speak for him because Shinsuke has had to essentially speak in English instead of his natural language, which takes away from his art form. Which is actually a pretty decent reason for it. Is it's like, yeah, he has. And like, Sammy even called it out when Miz said, "You're really going to let him speak for you?" And he said, "Oh, how do you want him to respond to that? In English?" You know?
That's why Sammy's so fucking good for this.
Because it was perfect. It was just like, he's kind of got a point there. Like, English is not his first language, but you are expecting him to communicate with you in English, you know? So, I was a little confused by it. It didn't make a whole lot of sense. And even the announcers are kind of like, why the fuck are these guys teaming up together? Because they haven't really had... Like, they talked about the two of them had a feud for a while, you know, down in NXT and stuff like that. But that was about it. Like, they haven't really had too much interaction. But I, for one, I'm interested to see what this duo can do, obviously. I'm assuming they're going to be your SmackDown Tag Team Champions next week.
Look, just have Sammy play the role of the quote-unquote advocate or manager, and we'll be good, you know? Yeah. He can be the Freddie Blassie to Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yeah, but he can get into the ring and actually throw down too, which is good.
Yes.
Yeah. For those that don't really pay attention to the WWE exclusives, if you get the chance, so after Sammy's King of the Ring match on Monday, during the commercial break, he attempted to attack a fan and proceeded to swear about 20 times in the matter of 2 minutes, where they were bleeping it out. I thought this was fantastic, and he finished it off with, "Enough is enough, and it's time for a change."
Yes, it did.
So fucking good.
Nice.
I saw some people respond to that online, like, "Oh, why is Sammy going after a fan? Like, what the fuck's wrong with him?" Dude, he's working.
It's fucking heat.
Working all he
it's
is.
Such good heat.
Yeah. Well, and plus, like, do we really think that wasn't a plant? Like,
no, of course not.
No, I don't think so. I think, but I mean, what's the guy going to walk up and punch Sammy in the face?
It doesn't matter if it was a plant or not. Sammy's going to use whatever that guy said to portray whatever he wants to portray, and he did it beautifully.
So, as for these two teaming up, or him being an advocate, I like it. You guys brought up basically all the good points. But I do like the fact that these two have obviously worked a lot with each other in the past. So they're going to fucking cling right away, and it's going to be fantastic. It's going to make for some really good television.
Well, plus, you know, you've got Sammy, who also is a foreigner, you know? So it makes sense in that thing. Not even just the Canadian aspect of it, but the fact that he, you know... He obviously is, I don't want to get it wrong, but Syrian, right?
I can't say. Hold on.
Okay. I feel like that's true.
Okay. But yeah, he's obviously from, you know, he's got a Middle Eastern background and stuff like that. So it makes
he's got a Middle Eastern heritage. Yeah. He's born in Canada, right. So
yeah, so it makes a lot of sense for him to team up with somebody who, you know, has had to go through that. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. I'm wasting time until Ginger can figure out if I'm wrong or not.
He's Syrian.
Syrian, perfect. Okay, that's what I thought. I didn't want to get it wrong though, because I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna look like a fucking racist if I say that he's like Islamic. But yeah, so that's going to take us to our main event, which this week is actually just going to be us kind of explaining how things are going to work to an extent. We don't have all the things worked out yet, but how things are going to work once they actually do move SmackDown to Fox and to Fridays. So we have been working on this for months now, once we heard about this. And I know a lot of other podcasts have been dealing with the same kind of thing, because obviously the way that our show records is we record on Thursday for a release Thursday night or Friday morning. But we won't be able to do that because SmackDown won't have actually aired. So... again, like I said on Twat, like I'm going to say tomorrow on Twat Magic. Whoops, peek behind the curtain. This is a good thing because it means more content for you. So what's going to happen is we're actually going to break up our show here into just focusing on the shows themselves. So we are going to have a separate show for Raw, a separate show for SmackDown, a continue to have a separate show for NXT, just with a rebranding to it. And then come October, we're also going to have a separate show for AEW. So that means at the very least there you're getting 4 shows talking about the main wrestling shows. Now, depending on what happens at 205 Live, we are hoping Hurry Up and Cruiserweight still exists. But if it doesn't, Jeff will be somewhere else on the network. We will still be getting Making the Grade from Adam, which he will recap everything that week, including AEW, although probably not nearly as much because he's going to be on AEW Rundown. So he will probably mostly focus on the WWE shows on Making the Grade, but might give us a little bit if he doesn't get into it. But then, of course, Twat Magic will still be around. It will just be moving to Wednesdays, which is the day that the Bellas release their podcast anyways. So makes it so that we are kind of fresh on their heels on that instead of having 2 days for things in between. So, and it makes it so that if, they decide to attack one of us again on Twitter, that we can talk about it a little bit quicker. So... On top of that, we will still have a lot of our specials that we've been going on. Survivor Series should make a return, hopefully. And then, some of the other shows that we've got. Eventually, I hope to get Glowstick back going, but it's just been kind of busy with everything going on with the transitions and stuff like that. And then, of course, we're hoping to get other shows as well as Ginger Snaps. WrestleMania Salvation, obviously, has a couple more episodes left in it before you catch up. Go ahead, Ginger. You're going to say something?
I'm all set. I just have to record Ginger Snap, so I apologize.
There you go, see? You'll still be getting all those. Plus, anytime that we have a pay-per-view weekend, whether it be AEW or a WWE pay-per-view or a TakeOver, which normally is part of that thing, you will get a special episode Monday where we will recap the pay-per-view from that weekend. So even more content for you. And that's why it makes it even more important for you guys to become Patreons, because a lot of these episodes are going to be, we're going to have a lot of other episodes that are going to be recorded that you'll be able to get access to, and we have to fill them in when we have space, and we're not going to have that much space on the main feed anymore. So if you are a Patreon, you'll be getting some of those special episodes like Ginger Snaps, like Glowstick, like WrestleMania Salvation, like Royal Rumble. Anything that we can think of is going to go up on Patreon potentially a few weeks before it even shows up on the main feed for all the rest of the unwashed masses. So again, patreon.com/rundownwrestling to get early access to those shows, as well as some other things that we've got planned once we do our new little breakdown. Yes, Sal.
So to all of our fans, and to my fans in particular, I know that there's at least one of you out there. Just to wrap up WrestleMania Salvation, as we are getting closer and we are getting caught up, every first Monday of the month, I will have a new episode. For the remaining 30 through 35, I intend to have a guest. My fellow hosts on the Rundown have been kind enough to want to sign up for some of the WrestleManias. Once I catch up at 35, I believe that will be the first week of February, the next time you hear WrestleMania Salvation will be one of these special pay-per-view episodes that Troy is talking about, and it will be for WrestleMania 36. Myself and whoever wants to join me the day after WrestleMania will give you a whole recap of that weekend for special WrestleMania Salvation episode. And then once Salvation is done, I've already transitioned kind of into some other projects. I hope you guys enjoyed the Survivor Series episode. I'd love to do it again. TakeOver Salvation is still something on the table. And, I will be on the AEW show, but I might pop up here and there on some of the other shows. And we're gonna try to get a feed where it's less convoluted, where we have to talk about 18 hours of wrestling and 3 hours of programming on Thursday night.
Right, yeah, because there's so many things that we have to skip over in the week of wrestling, and obviously once AEW starts its own show, there was no fucking way we were going to be able to put them in on this as well. So we knew we weren't going to be able to have the one rundown episode to cover everything for the week. So instead, this show gets a stick of dynamite shoved up its ass and gets blown into 4 shows. Which again, that means that instead of having a 2-hour show where we like as you just said, talk about 15 hours of wrestling, you get 4 shows that'll probably each be an hour and a half to 2 hours, talking about 2 to 3 hour show, and then obviously going from there. So yeah, we're really excited for all that. We've got a lot of things going here. The big thing that we have to figure out is theme songs at this point. That's the last kind of piece of the puzzle.
Oh no!
Oh, I got some
I
really
just
good
got added.
Yeah,
I got some really good ideas for AEW, but
so
we'll see what happens.
We do have logos that you'll be starting to see soon. Obviously in September you'll see the brand new NXT Rundown logo. That'll be kind of our first or second one, depending on when the All In is, but because that's when you'll see the AEW one as well. Or
that being said, there are some plans that we may do an all-out preview next week. So keep your eyes on the feed for that, and that's when we might actually preview the new logo and new theme song.
There we go. All right. So with that, before we get in to Ginger's favorite part of the show, we will have to talk about. I don't want to get into it that much.
Nope.
Just want to say, Jim Cornette is your known piece of shit Todd Sopel Dick of the Week for comments that he made on Twitter regarding the lovely Jordan Grace, as well as making some other comments that pretty much just showed that he's never going to get a reputable job again in this business. MLW has released him, so he is unemployed at this point, and for good reason, because that shit doesn't fly. You can't sit there.
Nope.
You can't insult women, especially ones that you work with, and you definitely can't sit there and say homophobic comments and things like that too. So,
don't get me wrong. We fuck around on here, but we're not fucking serious like he was on the shit that he was saying. So,
right.
if you're ever offended by what we say, remember, guys, we're only fucking around on here.
We
The
say-
intentional
Yeah.
offensive wrestling podcast
Yeah,
to be funny,
you
not to
literally-
be hateful or anything
right,
like
exactly. Although Sal does seem to hate Aaliyah's nose, so
that. No, more her crotch.
Those
so that's
eyes.
all right.
well, still, she's a beautiful woman. So we have just one independent date to plug, and Ginger, take it away.
The company that known unemployed piece of shit Todd Sopel called a company that is still in business because they are not run by a known piece of shit. Peabody's top independent wrestling company, The Proving Ground, returns to the Peabody Knights of Columbus on Saturday, August 31st for Level 5. Ring of Honor superstar brawler Brian Malonis faces off against the so-called King of Monsters, Kevin Giles. The Proving Ground Championship will be on the line when the champion, the ace, Mike Montero, steps into the ring with longtime rival, the PGOG Derek Conway. Watch our former host, Adam, if you must. King Leon VI and Corinne Mink will attempt to get married live in the ring. All that and much more, except known piece of shit Todd Sopel, who's definitely a fucking bitch after this week. He ain't booked Terry on August 31st.
And that does it for the rundown for this Thursday, August 22nd, 2019. We only get to do that read one more time. I'm a little sad. Please rate us 5 stars and review, and we will read the reviews on air. Follow us on Twitter at Rundown Network. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Rundown Wrestling. Email the show your dick pics via rundownwrestling@gmail.com. Go to instagram.com/Rundown Wrestling, where maybe once Hurry Up and Cruiserweight goes away, Jeff will actually do his job. YouTube.com/Rundown Wrestling to watch us live. Leave us a voicemail, 617-863-6967. That's 61 Rundown 7. Please do, because otherwise they're going to shut it off. We are now on Patreon. Head over to patreon.com/Rundown Wrestling to become a patron. All patrons will receive early access to shows on the Rundown feed, as well as some swag and original content. Also, when you subscribe at the $20 level, free t-shirt. Check out our website, rundownwrestling.com, for information on all of our great shows, such as the Nitromania podcast, Hurry Up and Cruiserweight, Making the Grade, NXT Revisited, Twat Magic, and WrestleMania Salvation. Listen to our friends Brawler Brian Malonis and Mike Crockett on the Wrestling Podcast About Nothing, with new podcasts every Monday. Go to facebook.com/thewpn or thewpan.com. Hopefully they got their feed issues taken care of. They had some kind of issue was going on. Looked like it got fixed at this point, but yeah, next Monday you'll get another episode from them. Check out our friend Justin Michaels on the show Yesterland Waltz. Go to yesterlandwaltz.com or watch it on your Roku through the RNTV app or the 24/7 Retro app. You can follow our host on Twitter at JStewart0920, at RockstarTroy, at Ginger19876, at WrestleMania Sale, at HurryUpCruiser, and at Lady_Gray420. I'm assuming she's
Leaving?
another one of those.
She's It's jiggly booty. It's not the fake booty. It's jiggly, nice big booty.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Weed does a body good. Thanks to all of you for listening. Thanks to Sal.
Thank you, Troy.
To Ginger.
This is good. Thank you very much. I had a lot of fun tonight.
Awesome. And thanks to Jason, apparently.
And Lisa.
Which is good because I don't have to edit out our theme song anymore this week then. And fuck Tutsuple. Next week we continue to pleasure ourselves with pictures of beautiful women, and we talk about the road to Clash of Champions. Yeah.
Sure.
So with that, ciao.
We will see your ass next time.
Bye.
Bye bye. I almost ended the call.
I almost did the same.
All right. Perfect. And let's see. Haven't heard anything from the side, so looks like everyone left anyways. So for the
Those two watching.
the two people watching, have a good night, y'all.